I want to talk about Proverbs chapter 11, verse 27 real quick. It says, whoever seeks good finds favor, but evil comes to the one who searches for it. One of the things that I love about Proverbs is that it gives you the exact opposite school of thought with every verse. It'll tell you the good and the bad, or it'll tell you the bad and the good. What I want y'all to understand is, the minute it tells you in the Bible that when you pray and draw near to God, God will draw near to you. Simultaneously, the devil has to do the same thing, because you have to be tested. If you decide to be God's child, you want to bring light down here, there will surely be darkness right around the corner. It's a counterbalance to life. And in order for you to see this, in order for you to see where you're really being tested, you gotta be honest with God, right? Like, you gotta really be honest with God about who you are, your demons, your issues, because God already knows it. But God detests a lying tongue. Why is that? It's because it says in the Bible as well, in Proverbs, that liars are usually, deceitful tongues are usually contemplators of evil, right? It's usually some evil. If you have to lie to God, you're being deceitful. People who operate in deceit operate in evil. So if you're trying to do good and you're falling victim to certain tests, certain trials and tribulations, it's probably because you're still blind to an area that you're lying to yourself to. Like, there's something that you're not fully confessing. Something that you might not have realized that you need to confess. The trick with evil, in order to really figure it out though, you can't dwell with demons and figure out demons. They're never going to give you the full truth. They'll give you some, but it's never going to be geared towards actually helping you absolve yourself and resolve issues. That's not what they're there for. In order to figure out the devil, truly, you got to go to God. The devil's Lucifer, it's never going to be honest. Not completely. That's just not his thing. You know what I'm saying? It's not his niche. So it would be a foolish mind to even embrace that you can figure out evil while you're doing evil. You can only really figure out evil while you're doing good. You got to go to God for evil. You got to go to God to really understand evil. You got to go to God to understand your evil. And if you want to understand your evil, you have to operate in full truth. Therefore, you can't be deceitful and lie. You got to be honest with yourself about yourself. You got to be honest with God as well. You know, when they talk about God will never give you more than you can handle, a lot of the times people associate that with the negative. I'm here to tell you directly, it has everything to do with the positive as well. Again, they both act hand in hand. It's a marriage. That's what this is. Just like the positive side of the atom is married to the negative side. It's what it is. The higher you climb in good, the higher the fall in bad that you are subjected to potentially. This is what you need to understand. So when they say God won't give you more than you can handle, sometimes God's not giving people blessings, and I can see this. It's not because you're going to mismanage the blessing. God's not giving you certain blessings because you're going to mismanage sin. You're going to fall victim to sin. New levels, new devils. Evil has to operate at the exact energy level that good is operating at. This is the balance. And it's always going to be there. If you're still blind to why you're doing certain sinful things, it's just automatically certain blessings that some people just never gonna have, because you're lying, you're being deceitful. How can a blessing hit you honestly if you are a liar? How can you even see it realistically if you are deceitful? You are only going to get tricked and deceived into thinking that something was there for you, but it wasn't. Whatever that is, whatever shape it takes. Evil it's not a concept. Good and evil are real. You know, these things are in our hearts. The temple of God might be in your mind, but the Spirit of God is in your heart. And at the end of the day, a lot of people have evil in their heart. You can see that, you know, we got all type of stuff going on right now. I mean, just in the world, just all of the crime, murders, child trafficking, human trafficking, you know, sex slaves, all of this stuff. I mean, the evil is in the hearts of men. And you can see this. And you got to really start questioning why that's there. It's because you don't know the devil. You don't know how it operates, and it infects us. It's a slow burn. It's a slow seduction. I told you, it's a series of yeses and nos. It's a slow possession of your mind and your heart, your spirit. What is in your heart? And if you look at society as a whole, you see what's in the hearts of men. It even says that evil is in you from your inception, bro. From your birth, as in the flesh, you have been afflicted with sin. It's in you. And a lot of the time we don't take the time to know it. We don't take the time to realize that we're being programmed towards certain inclinations, certain responses, certain actions, certain thoughts, a certain type of character. But it's truly all around you. It's in the movies. It's in your music. It's in your communities. It's in your jobs. It's in people. You know, God might have made us in its image, but evil definitely has recreated people to be of its likeness. As I told you, you got to be of hell to be invited there. Heaven ain't invited to the barbecue in hell. So you got to be of hell to be invited there. So in order to be of hell, you got to be, it's a transition. You got to transform. And it's a spiritual thing, but it takes place in the flesh. It's not just psychology that is going to help you win against evil. It's not just biology, understanding these things. It's the spirit as well. It's all three. Recognizing you are what you eat. So that's listening, seeing, plus food, plus these things that you put inside your body that messes with your mind and your hormones, your emotions. And if you eat enough of this evil, you will transition into it. You will transition into it. And hell will rejoice. God is not the only one that rejoices. The devil does as well. The purpose of this video is to give a new perspective behind struggles, but also blessings and a lack thereof blessings, and why that might be happening. It's because somewhere in our armor there's a chink. It's because we're not able to defeat certain levels of evil. Therefore, you can't ascend into certain levels of good because you don't have certain self-control and you don't have spiritual eyes to see. It's literally like it's like a video game, you know, where you got to level your character up in order to beat certain bosses. But if you don't level the character up, you're going to keep losing. So then you kind of figure out what areas of the character you need to level up to be strong enough to beat this boss. It's the same thing with life in the spiritual realm. You have to level up. And if you don't level up, you're not going to be able to, you're just not going to be able to beat the level. You're not going to be able to keep going. Can't beat the game. And in some cases, it's game over. The other point of this video wasn't just to point out the lack of blessings and why they might be happening, but also to help people come to terms, from my perspective, you could say, with how to discover the evil within yourself. You literally have to give it to God. You have to go to God, and you have to cleanse yourself by being completely honest, which might be hard to do out of shame, mostly fear, which inspires shame, guilt, self-resentment, whatever it is. These are all tools used to keep you from the truth of yourself and what you need to be doing to be evil. Not be evil, beat evil. Otherwise, you're just going to be evil. I just wanted to get that to y'all today. I got more coming.